y'all, it's the Cute Coffee Gal, and I am back with part 42 of my Decades Challenge. It has been a hot minute since I have uploaded a video, and I am so sorry about that. Real quick before we hop into the game, I just wanted to let y'all know kind of where I've been, what I've been up to, and yeah, kind of what to expect coming up today. So if you haven't already, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below, just that big red subscribe button, and tick the little notification bell so that you'll always know when I'm uploading a new video. So where have I been? First of all, I'll real quick get that out of the way. So the past 2 weekends, I have been away. I first went with a good friend of mine, the person, if you watch my Asylum Challenge, the person who is Cassie. She and I went to Kentucky to go taste bourbon together, which was so much fun. We had such a blast. And I had hoped to get this part of the Decades Challenge filmed before we went off to Kentucky, and it just didn't happen. And then things kind of went haywire after that. So I got back from Kentucky. I had a sinus infection that was really awful. And then I wasn't even really fully recovered from that when last weekend I was at Dragon Con. So if you are at all familiar with Dragon Con, you know how time-consuming that is. But for those of you who may not know, it's an event that's held Labor Day weekend every year here in Atlanta. It is the best way I can kind of describe it. People say it's kind of like nerd Mardi Gras, but it's about 5 days worth of amazing, wonderful nerdiness. It's panels. It's a big convention. So it's panels. You get to hear speakers. There are a ton of parties. Over half the people who attend are dressed in cosplay, so it is a lot of fun. It is here in Atlanta where I live, but because it is so involved, we actually get a hotel room downtown. So I was like in town, but it was like I was out of town, if that makes sense. And when I got back from that, y'all, my internet, I was so mad. I got home and my internet was completely out. So I had to call. It took 2 days for them to send someone to service it. So they finally serviced it. The next day it went out half the day again. And now it's actually, as I'm recording this, it's out again. So I'm recording some episodes for you guys of The Sims. I'm kind of doing a little bit of pre-recording this week. But I also would like to record my Wolfpack challenge on the Xbox, as well as another Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery, which I haven't recorded in forever. But both of those require internet connection. So we'll have to see how that goes. But they're supposed to be coming tomorrow to fix it, supposedly for real this time. Yeah, I'm not Comcast's biggest fan, but, you know, there's not a lot of options. So I did have to, use my phone as a mobile hotspot to be able to connect to the internet to tell Origin to play offline so I could even play The Sims for you guys today. So anyways, that's where I've been. It's just kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster lately, but I'm hoping that now that all of that's out of the way, I'll be back to my regular schedule. So usually I'm not filming Decades this early in the week, but because it's been such a long time, I wanted to make sure y'all had an episode of Decades Challenge, and I've missed playing the family. So things are going to be a little out of order this week, but we'll be back to normal next week as far as the order of when things are uploaded. So you may be wondering what I'm doing on all this speed editing to the house that you've been watching while I've been rambling on like a crazy person. So we are now switching into the 1940s. Unfortunately, if you remember from the last part, we were not quite to 1940 yet because of all of the internet troubles I've been having. My recording software went a little bit weird, and I actually recorded part 42 already. And it recorded as a black screen because apparently XSplit requires the internet in order to be able to actually record the screen or something. I don't know. I've got it working now. But yeah, that was just really not cool. So I've already recorded the 1939, early 39 and late 39, and it didn't record for you guys at all. So now I'm playing catch up. So I will kind of fill you in on the things that already happened here in our household while I am just making updates. So what are these updates? Well, we've hit the 1940s, and Olivia, I think, probably would have made a lot of changes to the house. She would have wanted to update things. You know, this house still looks like it's turn of the century, and it's the 1940s, man. Like, you gotta get things updated. So while I'm finishing up these edits, let me just real quickly run through the 1940s rules. I'll update you with a couple of things that I already did that did not get recorded, and then we'll hop into the game. So for the 1940s, first of all, we're hitting World War II, and so that means that all male Sims who are already a young adult, so that really only affects Joseph, that he will be drafted. And so once our brand new little baby cow plant, because I killed the cow plant in the last part. Of course I did. I tried so hard to keep that stupid thing alive. But I killed it. And so I had Joseph and Marie went fishing in Oasis Springs, got us some more cow plant berries, and now we have a new cow plant that's growing up. So as soon as it gets big enough, I will then have Joseph roll. I don't want to roll the dice and find out if he's going to live until we actually have a cow plant, because it would just kind of be torture if it rolled saying he was going to die, and then we still had to play with him for several days. So I'm just going to wait until the cow plant's ready before we do anything there. For all male Sims who become a young adult during this decade, so that would be Richard and Paul, they will not be drafted, but they must have a career. So we'll make sure that that happens. Also, if Joseph does go to war and he comes back, then he will have to take a negative trait as trauma. New relationships and woohooing rules. So Sims may now have relationships with other ethnicities or races, but they cannot marry. So segregation was still definitely a big thing going on during the 1940s, and that is reflected in the fact that people could not legally marry within different races at that time. A lot of updates to the house. Like I said, I do think that Olivia made a whole bunch of stylistic changes, which is what you're watching me do now. But other things that are like rules-based is that our house must have a radio, and someone must listen to it for at least an hour every day. Each house must have a victory garden with at least 4 plants, which, hello, we live in a farm, so we're fine on that point. Coffee makers are now allowed, but not any fancy espresso machines or 1-cup brewers. Fitness equipment is now allowed for athletes, which we do not have any of those, so we won't have any equipment. Winter holiday music is now allowed. Large commercial farm greenhouses are now allowed, and I do think that that's something Joseph will do with the farm. I think that he's going to do some research on all these plants, figure out what's making big money, and he will put them into greenhouses. So be on the lookout for that to happen. And thermostats are now allowed, so we have added one of those into the house as well. On education, teens are no longer sent away for bad grades, which we never have had that many teens with bad grades anyway, so that doesn't really change anything for us. We have a whole bunch of careers that are now open for male Sims, and for female Sims, they have a lot more available to them as well. As a reminder, young adult veterans cannot have a career until they become an adult. So if they're a veteran and they're still a young adult, they come home and have to be unemployed until they become an adult because they're off fighting. And then young adult male Sims who are not veterans have to have a career. So that's kind of the two sides to that coin. And female Sims must have a career. Once they are married, they can keep that career or become a housewife. It's their choice. So I do have Marie has joined a career. She is now going to be working as a writer. I see her maybe becoming an author. And I did go ahead and I had Olivia quit her job because I do think that she would, now that she's got a second baby on the way. Oh, that's all. That's another thing that you guys missed. She's expecting. We have a second baby on the way. She's about to enter into her second trimester, I believe. And so that is very exciting. I did go ahead and have William and Marie have moved into the back house now because we have a growing family, so they took over the main house. So we have another baby on the way, and because of that, I did think that Olivia would probably quit her job because she'd be a stay-at-home mom. But I think she'll become much more involved in farming. She's actually joined the farm hands, and she and Joseph need to really learn about the farm because I think that that's going to be a big deal for them. Teens are now allowed and encouraged to have a job. They can have any of the jobs except a barista because that wouldn't really be a thing back in the 40s. And so I do have Paul and Richard have both become manual laborers. They had to quit the Scouts in order to do that, unfortunately, but that has happened. Holiday decorations are now allowed, and so we have added decorate to all of the traditions on our various holidays. So Christmas, we can now, decorate's now a thing. Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, all of those holidays, decorate is one of the traditions. For Christmas, I did have to take off Father Winter because we had already filled up all of the traditions, and so I figured he was the least realistic of the traditions. So I replaced Father Winter with decorating. And then a few other miscellaneous rules. Sims may only have one hot-cooked meal per day. Otherwise, they may eat food found from scavenging, fishing, and gardening. So most of the time, we just have one big meal, and then they eat leftovers all day, so I'm not too worried about that rule. Sims can now take medicine when they are sick. That's huge. We haven't been able to do that to date, so I'm very excited that that is now an option for them. Babies can now be born at home or at the hospital, and so we probably will have Olivia go to the hospital when it's time for her to give birth. The veterinary profession became more common, so now we can take our pet to the vet if they are sick, and also spaying and neutering is now an option. So you'll see when we jump in, unfortunately, Dixie passed away, and so I've got a few screenshots I'll throw up on the screen for you right now, just so that you can see that happening. It happened right after I turned the camera off, and so I did get some screenshots of that. Unfortunately, I haven't really gotten screenshots of anything else because I thought I was recording. But now we can take a pet to the vet and we can spay and neuter. So that's great if we decide to get another pet at some point. And we now can have washing machines and dryers. It's very exciting. And of course, Olivia wants that. So that's our rules for the 1940s. I'm trying to think what else happened that didn't get caught on camera. I think that might be it. So, I did have a request to review the family tree, so we're definitely going to do that as well. Let's go ahead. I'm going to walk you through what the updates are that I made, and then I will show you the family tree after that. So, here is our brand new kitchen. So what she has done, most of the rooms now have a laminate flooring. They just loved linoleum back then. So the floor has been redone, obviously. Also, lots of floral wallpapers, colorful things all over the place, especially these kind of pastel-y colors. So we've got the nice brand new refrigerator and stove, which are that lovely kind of teal color. Some colorful cabinets, a new retro sink. Wallpaper, of course, a brand new trash can that is a little bit more time period appropriate. I don't know if they would have necessarily had a plastic trash can like that, but they certainly wouldn't have the wooden barrel that we had before. She also added this little new nook over here in the corner, this little table with some chairs. That was so that she could have a little spot maybe for a little breakfast moment, a cup of coffee or whatever. But also, now that she's going to be at home, she's going to kind of be running the house. And so this gives her not a desk necessarily, but a little corner spot that she can work at. Then we also have new window coverings everywhere. There's our new coffee machine, which is excellent. And then she did things like she painted all the cabinets white, and the hutch piece is also painted now. She did lots of getting rid of the dark colors. She wanted things to be nice and clean and white and bright. So that is kind of what we see there. Let's head on into the dining room here. So as you can see here in the dining room, she painted the table and the chairs, changed out the window coverings, has this kind of laminate flooring. All of the doors have all been painted white as well. She painted the paneling white, added some wallpaper. So that is where that room stands. You can see that she, here in the main living room area, she didn't change anything other than we've got a decorative plate that's here, as well as the radio. I figure that she doesn't have all the money in the world, so she can't completely redo the entire house overnight. And the family room is still a place where the family largely gathers, including her parents-in-law. So she kind of left this as is for the moment. She will get to it, do not worry. But at the moment, this is still kind of the same as it's always been. Then you kind of come down the hallway. There's our new little thermostat you can see there. Let's go into the master bedroom, which has a whole other theme to it now. Let me see. Can I? No, I need to go in this way, don't I? There we go. All right, so with the master bedroom, as you can see, she's got this kind of like tropical theme going on, and that's something else that also took place in the 40s, is that people got really excited about like Hawaii. Oh, come on. Nope, not gonna work. There we go. And so people got really excited about Hawaii and like being in a tropical place. I'm gonna get out of this camera. There we go. It's just being a little buggy. And so she's got like this big banana leaf wallpaper, again, laminate flooring, added a colorful rug, kind of did all of the furniture to match. She has painted all of the fireplaces, so that they are also white now. So that is their bedroom. She also has the lovely new ceiling fans that got added recently with an update. And I believe, did I do it right? Yes, I did. You can see I've actually used BB Move objects to layer. This right here, what the cursor's actually on, is a single light bulb. So it's going to look like these are ceiling fans with lights, which that's kind of cool. Then out our back patio, of course, this is unchanged, but then we get to her brand new laundry room, which I think is absolutely adorable. I did leave one of the clothing lines. First of all, it still has clothes on it, but also I figured that Marie might be comfortable using the washing machine, but that the dryer would still scare her a bit. So she would probably still choose to hang clothes to dry. But of course, you know, Olivia's got to have the newest stuff. So here's her cute little laundry room. We've got the washer and dryer, some spare baskets, a few decor things here. And I've also changed up these laundry baskets to be all white. She's kept 2 of the plants that were in here before, so she still has those to use for laundry additive. Though I do believe you have to upgrade the washer in order to be able to do that. And then she has this Waikiki beach poster, again, going along with the whole Hawaiian thing. Then we're going to move on into a little bit of construction that happened. So if you'll recall, this, the living room area and the hallway here, and this room right here were all technically one big room. So they added a wall here, and they took down the wall that was separating the little office area and instead put it here. So now this is actually a whole office library kind of space, and it's largely untouched. It does have a new rug in here, and she recovered the sofa so that it's white instead of green. But other than that, this room is still fairly untouched. I do think that this will get renovated, but it's not quite there yet. So, but that is a space where they can still have for the grown-ups to be in there. Particularly, I imagine that Marie will wind up coming in here some because she'll probably need to use the typewriter for her new writing career. So that is that. Then we have what is probably my favorite room of the new house. Let's see if can I get it? No. Trying to get you a good view of the bathroom. I think this is so delightful. So it has a brand new tub, still a tub. We can't have a shower until the 50s. But this is our brand new tub that looks just a little bit more modern than the other one did. Brand new toilet. Goodbye to that chain toilet. A new mirror. We've got this fun retro sink here. And of course, the bright colors are in there. So fun. Then we have the 2 bedrooms that were down here. So let's see if we can get a decent view with both of them in there. So this is the toddler's room. Obviously, it's been completely redone. And this is a time when they really started to lean in pretty heavily on the pink for girls, blue for boys thing. So depending on what the second sibling is, we may make this be like a very girly looking room at some point, or it may need to stay kind of this both nursery looking kind of space. But that is this particular room. Oh, and it looks like I forgot to get the window coverings. They still have brown rods. I wonder, do these come with a white rod? Yes, they do. Let's go with those blue curtains so that we can have the white rod there. Okay, perfect. So that's that room. Then this was the other bedroom that had two single beds in it so that like kids could be in here. Like the teens usually would go upstairs and the kids would stay here. We went ahead and got rid of that, and this is now a playroom. So it has all of the toys that we had previously, the toddler bookshelf, the toy chest. It's all been painted white. The blocks that were over in the other room, the little doctor set, the little activity thing that was in the other room, and they just got a brand new puppet theater. So that's pretty fun that they'll have that now. And then upstairs, completely redone. Like this is, Olivia feels very, very good about this whole area because it is completely redone. It looks brand new. We've got the two older kids' bedrooms, which are just, linoleum all over the place. So exciting. Linoleum here in the hallway with the bright plaid. And then, of course, this bathroom has also been redone with similar features to the other bathroom. All in all, super exciting for the family to be able to have all this shiny new stuff, which really does show you just how dated all of this was, because when you kind of like look at the new stuff versus all the old stuff, the contrast is pretty stark. And then if you head out here to the back, you will see nothing has changed. I think the only thing is I moved this clock in here because it was still in the other house. And then there's a decorative plate because it's like Olivia said, we're decorating with plates now. Here's one for your house. And they said, okay, and put it up on the mantle. But other than that, their house is untouched. And I imagine it's probably going to stay like this for a really long time. They're not into all the new stuff. They don't really care about it at all. And Olivia doesn't have to come back here very often if she doesn't feel like it. So, yeah, there you go. Their house is pretty much the same as it was. So that is that. And then this is our new baby cow plant. So there is three skeletons now. Oh, excuse me. And so we have our 3 cow plant skeletons there. Hopefully we'll be able to keep this one alive. As soon as it gets big enough, we will have to have Joseph have a little roll of the dice. And then, of course, the rest of our farm, same as always, though, as I did mention, this is going to be changing and we're going to be moving to greenhouses at some point. So be on the lookout for that. And that was so much talking. Oh my goodness. I actually think that since I yammered on for so long that I think I am going to go ahead and split this video into 2 parts. So I will upload this as kind of a, let's say, channel update, rules update, house update, and I will also upload, I'll upload them on the same day. So I'll let there be, I don't know, like a half hour or so in between uploads. So when you're done watching this, you should be able to watch the next one right away. But I will put the gameplay in a part 43. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this quick little update, or not so quick, I suppose, for the Decades Challenge. Please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure that you have subscribed to my channel if you haven't already. About 60% of the people that watch these videos are not actually subscribed. So I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I will see you guys very, very shortly in the next part. Thanks so much, y'all. Bye.